Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, I'm taking 2.6 bill and going to the Grand Exchange to flip some of the new Desert Treasure 2 items. I'm feeling pretty lucky today, so let's set the profit goal at a 20 mil profit in this episode. Let's hop over to the Grand Exchange and see if we can make it happen. I'm at the Grand Exchange ready to flip, but one thing I wanted to mention is that in this episode and for episodes going forward, we're going to have the total profit tracker for the session available on screen at all times. That way, you guys can see how much hourly profit I'm looking at while I am flipping. With that being said, let's get into it. The first item I want to flip today is the Void Waker. Now, the Void Waker has just been flipping super consistently for the past, I would say, like 4 or 5 days. And it's just honestly made for a very easy and simple flip to do that actually nets a fair bit of profit right now. Recently, I've been averaging between 500k and 750k flipping Void Wakers, which is really good in my opinion. Definitely interested in flipping some of these Venator bows as well. These things have been on an absolute tear in price, as I believe they're used at one of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses. I think it's Varus, but I'm not. No, it's the Whisperer. You can use the Venator bow to take out the ads and get certain fight bonuses, which has made this thing go up a ton in price. Right now, I think it's actually pulling back just a little bit, but there might be opportunity to flip these back up, as I don't think we're going to crash quite yet. Anytime you're a little bit unsure about a flip though, there's no harm in just listing one of them and trying to buy and sell just one at a time. And our first Desert Treasure 2 ring, the Ultor ring, has been listed. We should be able to flip this for around 2.5 to 3 mil, although we really have to be careful flipping those rings. I've gotten burned a couple times already trying to flip them, and although I'm about break even considering all the flips I've made on the rings, it's definitely not a fun situation when you're holding one of the new update items and it's crashing really hard on you. So we're going to keep a very, very close eye on this thing. We're not going to rush it though. By the way, guys, this video series is made to teach you guys how to flip, so if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or how to flip a certain item, let me know in the comment section below and I'll answer your questions on the next episode. Anyway, back to the video. At this point though, I do think the Desert Treasure 2 items are starting to stabilize out a little bit. They will continue to downtrend as more come into the game, but at least they're at a much more stable point than they were the second and third day of the update. And already our first flip has gone through the Torva plate body. That was actually a very decent flip there, about 1.4 mil in profit. We'll definitely go back and flip another one of these, although it actually is looking a little bit questionable from the graph. And let me show you what I mean here on the full screen view. From what I can tell, I think we might be coming back down to like the 467 mil mark. I don't want to list there because it might take a while to actually get there, like 2 to 3 hours. But it might cause us to hold a Torva plate body a little bit longer than we wanted to. That's why we're just going to try to flip it on margin. It is looking pretty stable right now for the past few hours, or pretty much the past day. I do think the Torva is going to sit at an elevated price for quite some time, considering the Desert Treasure 2 update. And I decided to list the Belator ring as well as the Ultor ring. These are going to take a while to buy most likely, unless we buy them for too high, but we are within the margins on both of them, so probably going to take maybe 10 minutes to get each of them. We're already flipping the Awakener orbs for a 77k profit for every single Awakener orb we flip. If that margin keeps up, we're going to make a lot of money flipping those around like the 2.5 to 3 mil mark. Just goes to show you how insane this item is. Look how fast they're selling already. This is not a margin I think will last for very long. Definitely want to abuse this over the next week or two. Alright, had to move price on the Void Wakers. Unfortunately, going to get about 400k for each of these now, which is a little bit lower than the 500k I was looking at originally, but at least we're going to move some items around, get some profit coming in, and increase that profit per hour. And I mean, look at that, 3.1 mil in profit on the Awakener's orbs already, and we haven't even hit the limit on those. I believe the limit is 60 every 4 hours, so let's go ahead and list another 20 of those. And look at just how insane of an item this thing is, guys. Such an easy flip to do. Already up 4.5 mil on the session, 14 minutes into it. All we gotta do is move around a few bigger items, and we will be looking at an excellent profit. 20 minutes into the session so far and averaging 15 mil an hour. Pretty good. but I have not seen a lot of movement in the past 5 minutes or so on a lot of these items. I'm hesitant to move the prices on the Altar Ring and the Bellator Ring just because these items fluctuate around so much that we want to get a good deal on them, so I think the play on those is to be patient. If we're not able to get any in another 15 minutes or so, then I'll look into moving the price, but for now, I think we're fine where we're sitting, and we're just gonna wait. Nice, another Torva plate body has sold. That one's been working out really well for us, so I want to keep flipping it as it's pretty much a free profit right now. So let's go ahead and keep doing that. We're actually going to lower the next listing to about 250k less from where we bought our previous one. Sneaking a couple high volume flips in there just to get some easy safe profit in, as a lot of these things are just not really moving as much as I thought they would. The Void Waker has still not sold, which is a bit of a shame. And the Bellator Ring and the Altar Ring, we still have not gotten any of them to come through. Staying patient and staying the course. Our first T-bow flip has gone through. 1.2 mil on our first T-bow, which is pretty good because it flipped really quickly. So we're going to go back and do another one of these slightly above our previous margin. And yeah, we're going to flip that as many times as we can. Okay, I rose the price on the Bellator Ring because the margin moved up again, which means the price is definitely trending upwards. Hopefully we're getting in at a good price on that. Our other twisted bow actually ended up buying, so we're trying to sell this off right now for a decent margin, and it should actually work out for us, which is good. This Void Waker is just not working, so we might rotate out of that. Everything else is looking fine so far. We did have a little success with the high volume flips. We made about 247k on the mahogany planks, as well as 171k on the manta rays. So honestly, not that bad on the high volume all around. We're about 8 mil in profit in the session, 39 minutes in, and averaging about 12 mil an hour. Another Torva plate body has sold. It's so funny that last episode, the Torva plate bodies were not working out well, and all of a sudden, on this episode, we're just flipping them like hotcakes. Now, we only made 1 mil on the last one that we flipped there. It's not as good of a profit anymore, but I'm going to list another one for maybe another 10 minutes or so, see if we can buy one more to flip. And if that goes through, we'll move on to something else afterwards. And right after I ended that last clip, the twisted bow has sold. Good margin on that one, guys. 2.3 mil in total across 2 twisted bows. Looking really, really nice. Let's go ahead and flip another twisted bow just because that one seems to be working out pretty well. It looks like we were able to flip one of the Void Wakers as well, so we had 1 loss and 1 successful flip on the Void Waker, but between both the loss and the profit, we're up 155k, so we made up the profit on that Void Waker. We're going to try to go back in and get 2 more of these, and they might be trending up, to be honest, because they're currently going for about 160.5 mil each. If we can get a cheap one at about 158.3, then we can trade these up for likely a pretty good profit. And it's been a while since an update, but the flips have really slowed down a fair bit. Trying to get in on a lot of big items here, but I also just listed some high volume because things were looking a little bit slow. A little bit over an hour into the session with a 13.7 mil profit so far. Now I did move the price for the Altar Ring downwards because it's currently crashing a little bit, so I'm hoping to get a better deal. There's a chance we don't actually get in on this and it goes up in price again without us actually getting one, but it's much better than holding one while it plummets in price. We are struggling to flip this twisted bow as well. We're over 20 minutes without it being sold. I'm going to try to hold steady on the sell offer though because I don't want to lose money on this thing. Unfortunately, right now, the twisted bow is plummeting in price on us, guys. I think it's already down like 15 mil from where we bought it, and it really hasn't been that long. As you can see here, it's currently trading for 1.3 mil, but almost 1.3 mil flat. 1,306,000,000 GP for a twisted bow, and we bought it around, I think, 1,314,000,000. This is honestly around where we bought it, so It's looking a little bit dangerous there, but we're going to try to make it up on other items while we just wait for that twisted bow to sell. We might have to leave it overnight. These big items that crash quickly like this, they tend to recover in the short term, so we just have to be patient and kind of wait that one out a little bit. Of course, flipping is for sure a waiting game. It always has been. You just got to be patient. 15 mil in profit as we did sell the Torva plate body for a fourth time. This has been an amazing flip. Wow, and the scythe just came through as well. That is insane. We're going to flip another one of those really quickly, but I don't think we're going to go back in for any more Torva plate bodies, as it's honestly been getting really slow and they came down in price a little bit, so I'm going to stay away from that. Another scythe already. It's been like 2 minutes. This is perfect. This is exactly what we need to make sure we cover for any losses that we might incur on this twisted bow here. So who knows what's going to happen with that. We could actually even try and buy another twisted bow and flip that. It's actually not a horrible strategy, but for now we're just going to flip this scythe because it seems to be working. All of a sudden the profit is rolling in fast, guys. We're already at 19.5 mil. We just flipped a Zarite crossbow for an insane margin. We were able to make 1.7 mil on a Zarite crossbow flip, and honestly it did not take very long at all. Maybe took, I don't know, a total of 4 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and try to buy another one of these. Super excited to be flipping the Zarite crossbow now. Our flipping log is looking amazing. There we go. The Zarite Van braces have sold, so that is a 20 mil profit total for this session. And good news on the twisted bow, guys. It actually does look like it's going back up in price, although it is taking quite a while, so we should be able to sell that before the end of the session. And look at that, we just got our Ultor ring as well. Let's turn around and sell this as quickly as we can here. Try to get a nice little profit in before the margin moves again. And that's actually going to be like a 2.5, or no, not that much, 1.5 mil profit, which is not great for the ring, but considering it's our first ring flip of the night, we'll definitely take it. Solid, guys. Another Zarite crossbow has sold. 2.9 mil across two Zarite crossbows, averaging about 1.4 mil each. Honestly, that one's working out really well right now. We're going to go back and do another one. We also were able to buy a scythe, which I'm trying to sell for 528 mil. Got some high volume stuff in there as well, and still waiting on that twisted bow, but currently it's at 1,318 million. So it's just been coming back up in price from 1,306 million. So we're just going to wait for that. The Ultor ring is also not really moving right now as well, but I do think we're going to be able to sell that one off for a 1.5 mil profit. So again, patience today I think is key, especially since it's getting a little bit later at night and the volume across all of these items is definitely coming down a fair bit. And there we go, just clean and easy like that, the Ultor ring has sold. I'm actually going to try to get another one really quick, but that might be the last one we get for this flipping session, as it is getting a little bit too late. But let's go ahead and list another one for about 215,266,000. Oh, I messed that up twice. We'll do 250 and 5 JP just to get a little bit over that margin. Another scythe has sold. All of a sudden, guys, it's like the session swung in our favor. Flips were not doing anything, then all of a sudden all of our flips hit and we start buying and selling right on margin. So things are going really well right now. I don't know if I'm going to list any more items. I might do some really simple flips while I wait for everything else to wrap up, but I'm definitely ending my session somewhat soon, as we are past our goal of 20 mil and we're well beyond it, almost at 24 mil. I want to hang out a bit longer and see if this twisted bow will sell. We'll leave the Ultor ring in too to see if we can get another one, and the Masori body we might just sell for a smaller profit. And there we go, guys. The twisted bow has sold. It took an hour and 13 minutes total for that to sell, but that just goes to show that sometimes holding on and not selling down in a panic is the best way to go about getting your flip off for a decent price. Very happy to see that. Anyway, we're going to go back and start selling everything to wrap up the session here. 25 mil session is nothing to bat an eye at. That is honestly very, very good. So we're going to just turn around, sell everything else here, convert some of our coins into platinum tokens. And that brings us to the end of this flipping session. Guys, we made 25.5 mil in one flipping session that lasted about an hour and 50 minutes. that was averaging about a 13.4 mil profit per hour, which is absolutely nuts. That is definitely one of the better flipping sessions I've had, considering how fast we actually made that 25 mil. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to leave a comment in the description below saying you liked the video or asking any flipping related questions. I'm always down to help you guys out in the comments section. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.